Okay, this is the first Holocaust lesson. It's been split into two parts. This first part is going to be about some of the things that happened at the beginning of it that kind of set the stage for what would happen in part two. Now, the introductory slides, these are some things that you're going to have a chance to learn about in this lesson. Things that happened in Germany where they started to put more, the Nazi Party, the German people, started to put more control on Jewish people. So very soon after Hitler took power in 1933, um, they had a boycott. Now, you've learned in history earlier this year what a boycott is. It's when you refuse to buy something. So you had these guys that are part of the Nazi, thugs that would go on the street and start fights and stuff like that, that were standing in front of Jewish stores with those signs. And you might not be able to read it now, but if you go to full view, it tells you they're telling Germans, defend yourself, don't buy from Jewish stores. Then in 1935, they put new laws in place that basically defined who was considered Jewish and who wasn't. And those that were had to have identity cards. Well, everybody had to have an identity card, but on the Jewish people, they had to have a big, like, red J stamped, as you can see there, on their identity card. Basically, those laws said if you had at least one grandparent who was Jewish, you were considered Jewish. And then they had the night in 1938 where they broke into stores and houses and just busted stuff to kind of intimidate people. Those are three things. So in here, you're going to understand the beginning stages of Hitler's plan for the Holocaust, the beginning stages. And it wasn't just Hitler. He had people doing his work. Now, directions. There is work for you to do on these slides, especially all of it is important, especially slide 14, those summary things, because there is another quiz there. This is before I begin. You can look at this stuff. It was a dark time and it shows the dark side of the human spirit. It can be disturbing to learn about. So if there's anything that comes up in your mind that you want a question answered, correct my email. Email me at either email address, mastevens@fcps.edu or mastevens@fcpsschools.net, either one. So there's some more introductory videos, I mean, not videos, images. And this, you can see the caption, it shows Germans inside a concentration camp. And well before the Holocaust, a philosopher guy named Edmund Burke said, and this is kind of relevant to the Holocaust, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. In other words, you see bad stuff happen, you sit around and don't do anything, and that's kind of what happened in this time period. But remember, there were examples, as sad as it might be, of brave people that stood up and did stuff. Now, I know that you've heard of Anne Frank. She was a young Jewish girl who had to hide, and then somebody ratted them out, and they were sent to concentration camp, and she actually died in one right near the end of the war. But you see what she says, I don't think of all the misery, but the beauty that still remains. That's not easy to have, but it's still an important thing. So here you go. This is activity one, and it's a Holocaust timeline. You click on the link, you open the timeline, and then you pick 4 things in the timeline. You don't have to put any details, just put the date of it and the name of it, and go in order around from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Then this one, you click on this website. It's a website, really good stuff, Holocaust Museum. And you look at the questions first, then you go to the information, you find the stuff you need. Now, this is just for your information. Now, we know that a lot of times people joke about the swastika and they draw it on things, but this is not a joke, and this tells you where it came from. And this is something about the Hitler Youth. Yes, they did have a youth group that eventually it was a law that anybody who was considered the pure German race that was at least 6 years old had to join the Hitler Youth group, boys and girls. Then this last part here, this is where you click on this, look at the information, look back at slide 6 if you want. I think it's slide 6. And answer the question. Then you go to both of these surveys and answer them. And this is kind of a flexible extension where can you hear Nala in the background, by the way? She's not happy. Where you click on one of these things, you pick 4 or 5 important things, and you put the list there. So that is it.